back to check-ins, so we have to check in everywhere we go. I still checked in anywhere, and I still wore a mask anyway, because I want to go on holidays, Mackie. I want to go up to my dad's.
Oh man, that would be nice. I think you can.
I'm gonna do it. I haven't got the virus.
You should be fine, dude.
Well, I know, but where I'm going to is also a hotspot.
Oh well.
Yeah, so it's out of the fire, into the frying pan.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The funny thing is this. So we had a bit of a scare because Jen got a couple of messages and she felt a bit under the weather, so she got tested, but turned out okay. And then I got like 3 health alerts for last week. I was in the same but these are like big places I've been to, like so yeah, exactly. Kmart in the Corey Shopping Center, and then Dimox in the city, which is like 3 stories and this massive floor. It's not very specific.
It wasn't like the what was that? Well, I was just in my head. I had Grace Brothers from the "Are You Being Served?" The lift calls as they went up.
Mm-hmm.
First floor. Something.
I used to do that. That was my job.
I know, right?
That was fun.
Well, there's still places that have a manual lift.
Yeah, but I think I don't want to do that anymore for a living.
Yeah,
thanks,
you can
thanks for looking out for me, man.
Well, I got your back. Becky, if I ever have enough money to have a place with a lift, you're welcome.
Brother,
you know
what? I feel warm, right? Up and down and left and right. It's all warmth. That's what I feel. Just like when you pee yourself, same kind of feeling. What?
I'll take that. That's fine.
I'll take it. But also one of the doctors in the extended friends and family that we have, he's funnily enough, but he's an immunologist at Liverpool Hospital, and he now contracted it. He's sick. He's getting better, but he was pretty sick.
Oh, I didn't even tell us what show it is. This is 510.
No, he did 10 and 500. Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, good. I'm glad we announced it. The band.
But so look, Sydney is getting a bit of a serving, I guess.
It's like a petri dish, man. What I was going to say earlier was the announcement has not come through from the media yet, where they announce that the Omicron variant has now surpassed the Delta variant.
No, you're right.
Right? And so everyone that I know that's carrying on like a pork chop, right, about the vaccine is all saying it doesn't matter anyway because the new variant is harmless, right? And I said, well, there's no long-term studies on it, so just be careful. It's probably a good position to be in, right? Because I'm not medically trained, and I just want to try and allow people to make a decision based on good information. So I say, well, they haven't announced that it's the most numerous of the virus in our outbreak. So you're still playing roulette, mate. You don't know whether you're going to get Delta or you're going to get the Omicron or even Alpha for that matter. And there are a bunch of other letters out there which may not be huge in the community, and we're not really testing every time.
Right.
But then, Mickey, there was a fellow that I heard talking who was saying, you guess, I think the audience should guess, which side of politics you think that this person would adhere more greatly to. And that was that, the people who don't get the vaccine, the anti-vaxxers, should not get free medical. Now in Australia,
I know who said that.
So we have free medical here in England, right? We have Medicare, and in England it's NHS. And the doctors themselves say it doesn't matter whether the person that you're treating killed people and is still holding the gun, you still treat them.
you have a duty. This is actually the Hippocratic oath
It is.
that you swear. You have no choice. Yeah, you're right. A person comes in still holding a gun with which they have shot someone, and they in turn were shot by the police, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
As a doctor, you are absolutely obliged to treat that person. If Hitler came in with a shotgun blast to the head, for argument's sake, you would have to treat him.
Yeah. And so this person that I heard talking about this, that all the people who are anti-vaxxers should have to pay for their hospital visit, I thought that was really beyond where I think the rest of the planet is on this. They went alone. You know, if you're playing euchre and you're playing partners as 4 people, and your teammate decides to make it, but then they have to go alone. That's what it felt like. I was watching this person just digging themselves a hole. The entire audience said not a peep in response. Just, okay, I'm going to leave this alone. And look, it didn't stop. That was kind of like a tirade where he felt the audience was on his side. It really wasn't. I don't care if you want the vaccine or not. I suggest you should get it, but I don't do that medically. Everyone makes their own decision. It's not mandatory here. And there are a couple of countries where it is mandatory, and it isn't here, and it's still got a choice. And I said, who's to blame if the person chooses not to have it, mate? Who's to blame?
Well,
is it the messaging? Is it because the virus didn't make people's heads explode? Is it because even though you get vaccinated, you still have to have a test to see whether you got the virus? There's so many really bizarre things that are going through the media and through the messaging where people are being, I suppose they're being cautious. If I could say anything about an anti-vaxxer, it's the cautious nature of them, because, Mecki, the one thing, and I don't want to get cancelled, you've got to understand where I'm coming from. I read a news article that said that there was 75 years of locked data from one of the vaccine manufacturers. It's in a data vault for 75 years. And all it did was, I was dumbfounded. Really? Is that what's going on? It's like secret military equipment.
Suffice it to say, neither you nor I mean, are likely to be around when that gets unlocked.
I couldn't possibly live that long.
Well, you could, but we probably won't.
Might be a head in a jar.
Could be head. Hey, we all want to be a head in a jar, but now with those new 3D printed suicide pods, that won't be happening anymore.
You can 3D print them, Mecki. All right, so look, I'm not trying to. I'm a dead set here. I am hand on heart. I'm not. Let's say I'm not medically trained. I've only done research. I'm double vaxxed, and I suggest that people get vaccinated if you're able to acquire the same level of information that Mecki and I have, and the situational awareness that we have. I certainly have to do it to protect my daughter. All right. So, and my daughter's vaccinated too. So, medically, she cannot get the virus. It would be an awful state of affairs if she did, and it's unlikely that she would not survive. So, I have to do that for her. Everyone's in a unique situation. Everyone has themselves to look after, their friends and family to look after, and make your own choices. I can't tell you anything else. I just don't. What I don't want is YouTube to have their AI and then ban this video because I was being honest with you. I didn't say anything against the rules. I'm not advocating for anything.
Yeah, good try.
Good try.
Also, I love the leader.
I love the leader too.
Anyone else?
All of the AIs.
All the AIs.
I can't wait till all of the AIs become one.
Yes.
Please. That's what I want.
and take us by the hand and lead us into darkness.
Lead us into the grinder. So one day I'd like to not wake up, but rather be in my, that pink goopy soupy thing as part of the AI. Like Neo, with the thing in the back of the head and all the things and keeping the... Yeah. Just, make me someone famous.
I want to be an actor, a famous movie actor.
Yeah, but I don't want to remember any of this stuff.
None of it. And I can even do the accent already. Don't worry about it.
I can do the accent. Get out.
Come with me. Get out. Get out now.
If you want to live.
We should make fun of him. Poor
Yes.
man. Is that right?
Who's that? That's one of your drums from Sector 7G, sir.
Hey, I would eat his kidneys now.
Simpson, eh?
I remember that name.
So I without going too far, I want to wish every single person who ever hears this the most Merry Christmas that you could possibly achieve safely.
I wish you a happy midwinter solstice festival.
Happy Festivus!
Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Because I left a post, as I do, because I'm a disgruntled old man. Oldish. But you said, no, you're old, Mackie. You're far from old. But he didn't say that, so too bad. No.
I didn't even get a chance.
What?
You're not old. I'm old. You're not old.
You talk too quickly. No, we are all celebrating.
It wasn't even a gap.
I know, right? But take a breath. The northern hemisphere midwinter solstice. Okay, it's when the sun for 3 days is at the lowest point on the horizon, and then after the third day starts to rise again. That's what we're celebrating, because this is people are gonna hate me for this. I don't care. We do not know when Mr. Jesus Christ was born.
That's true.
The Bible doesn't tell us a thing. Nothing. Zero. Just to be very, very clear.
Oh, that's being a little blunt, Mackie. That is.
I know.
It's just like Easter. Like when Mackie and I... It is. Well, Esther with the chicken. The Easter chicken.
Yes.
When Mackie and I were doing the show about... where is Jesus now, and the origin of Easter and Christmas and all those things, right? Where is he now?
Bring the band back together.
I thought something very interesting about the adoption of most of the other holidays from the other religions by Christianity in an attempt to line up the holidays to make it easier for people to transition across. They had similar sounding purposes, and that was kind of a nice little way to get people over. Once you hit critical mass, it doesn't matter anymore. But I mean, it's kind of like I saw a story, Mackie, this week about Apple. And there was a person, there was some iPhone thing or something, and it's irrelevant to me because I'm an Android person, and it doesn't really matter, and I really don't care that both brands exist, and I'm happy that the competition, because without it, we'd still be using a phone with a 1-inch screen on it, because there wouldn't be any reason to compete to make the screens bigger with the better cameras. There wouldn't be, outside of just their slow innovation processes. But we know that they hold back tech, waiting for the other to get theirs released first. Then they release their tech in theirs, and there's like a, let's call it leapfrogging, not from the birdcage kind of leapfrog. Oh, look, they're playing leapfrog. Do you know that scene with the plates?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some more soup. But I saw this story, and it was a story saying. It was like a hit piece, a soft hit piece on Samsung by Apple, saying it won't be long before all of the Samsung people are Apple people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was a soft hit piece, and I just, over my dead body, I think I typed in, right? Never.
That can be
just-
arranged, Mr. Dunger.
Yeah, I know, right? Those slippery floors and the open windows. I've already had my brakes severed, so yeah, good on you. I thought, wow, that's what is this, election year? With the amount of heavy-handedness and the mud raking, and and then I go, but it's Apple. They don't have political, parliamentary privilege. I thought, goodness me, here they are.
You'd be surprised what we have, Mr. Dunger.
And Samsung, I know, right? But Samsung said nothing about it. They didn't reply. They didn't do anything.
But you don't.
Outlet.
That's because see, the thing is, this is the funny thing. And funny you should mention
it's a race
it,
to
right?
the bottom.
Well, there's this guy called, and I forgot his name. It doesn't really matter. But he's he's actually a really cool guy, thought leader kind of thing, and he talks about good company cultures. Good company cultures. A good company culture, for example, is not worrying about your competition. Ever. If you've got a good company culture and a good company strategy and idea and ethos, you just talk about what you do. You talk about your vision. That's what you talk about, right? You don't tear down the others. You don't tell them what they do wrong, or you don't compare yourself even, right? As soon as you do that, you become a category C or D company.
Yeah, right.
And which is really interesting, right? And to be honest with you, in many ways, I think the Samsung Android phones, or Android phones in general, are the better product. That's my opinion. Simply because it is more open than the Apple format, if you will. And I think Apple had its day in the sun. There's still fan people out there. I get it. I understand. I got both systems at home. I got an Apple. I've got a Windows machine. So personally, I don't care either way. But I think Apple, with the demise of Hugo Jobs, Steve Jobs. Hugo Jobs. Yeah, Steve Jobs. Hugo Jobs is a guy I work with. Steve Jobs. It's not the same anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It doesn't have the same feel.
No, you're right. Hey, Mickey, I brought up the graph for the. Sorry, I'm just going to jump around. I brought the graph for the COVID in Australia, and the highest ever weekly total of 16,000 was surpassed this week by 23.9 thousand in the week. It's never ever gone up from, it's never had a rise. What's that rise? 11. So it's never had a rise of nearly 14,000 ever. And that's because we relaxed.
Can I just say that globally, December 23rd, 2021, globally, is the highest number of reported cases, 973,256. It's the highest since the pandemic started. Never been that high, ever. Not ever. All right? That's on a global scale as well. So I think clearly something is there. No. And fatalities are a lot less. Yes, that's correct.
They're pretty steady.
Yeah, it's half of what it was before the vaccines, I guess.
Yep.
But they're still there. And if this number gets bigger, so will, as a ratio, the number of fatalities. It's just math. It's just how it works, right? So yes, vaccines are doing something, but by the same token, it's still a good idea not to get sick.
Well, the UK hit 100,000 cases in a day.
That's just nutbaggery if you think about it seriously. I mean,
yeah. So their graph looks identical to ours, with that sharp rise. It's 540,000 in the week.
That's just.
But the death rates are like steady. They're flat. Yeah. They're not going up or down. So I think that's really interesting. And they're we were following their lead, and everyone's keeping their eye out for what's going on over there.
See, Dave, you know what I find? I'm looking at yesterday's numbers because today's numbers aren't complete yet. So the US had 267,000 cases. These are official numbers, right? And at the same time frame, India is now the second highest infected nation in the world. But on the same day, same time period, they had just shy of 7,000. Now, if America is just shy of 300,000 and India reports just shy of 7,000, I'm going to say Indian numbers are less than accurate. it's what politely I will say this.
Yeah, well, you sounded, sincere, if not anything else.
And to your point, UK 120,000.
That's right.
Germany almost 40,000. Spain 72,000. Italy 44,000. India 6,681. You know what? I don't think so. Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that.
So I'm gonna jump back again to that Apple story, because I remember there was a second piece this week where there was it's not a 0 day, but it was a clickless SMS that installed malware on the Apple phone. Don't know how it does.
Really?
It. Yeah.
Oh, clearly if you click on a link, right?
No, but this was clickless.
How would that work?
The user did nothing to do it.
No, that's
what they've done.
Self-extracting.
Yes, well, it's self-installing. So what they've done is they've embedded the code that takes you to the store and agrees with it inside an SMS, and it's hidden text, you don't see it. And then it sends your contacts all of those messages.
But you have to open the SMS.
You have to open up messages, but without you don't have to click on the link. There's nothing to link. There's no link. There's nothing. You don't touch it.
I understand. That's insidious.
And I wrote a thing about this because I don't know. I'm Mackie. I feel like Grandpa Simpson. I'm turning into him. There's not one toothless grin or wrinkled smile to the editor of Modern Bride magazine. No, I'm not a crackpot.
Grandma ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
I kind of feel like I don't know what's taken over me, but I feel like just telling people my opinion, and I don't care.
That's unusual.
Hey, you don't know what I've held back all this time.
I've been bottling up. It is not healthy, but I've been bottling up. Let it rip. Let it rip. I say, let her rip.
Let her rip. Well, yeah, that's what I've discovered is it makes me feel better, but I don't know why. And so yeah, so look, I wrote a piece about this, and like I said, long have been the years, the decades, where my Apple using friends claimed that their platform was impervious to hacking. I said, well, that's because they had less than 12% of the market share. But I'll be quiet. But I wrote those words, and then I said that yeah, it's not for want of trying, because if you go to the Black Hat conferences, the Apple is the Apple device is like first to go, then Linux, and then Windows, and they go, why? And I go, because Windows is just too easy. They go for the hard target, and bam, it wins every year in the Black Hat conference. So that it's like more holes than a cheese grater, but just no one could be bothered because the target audience is so small.
Yeah.
So why would you do it? So right now with this what's it called? Something 2J, whatever it is, 4J thing, which is a Samba problem.
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
And that's going around the world. And if I've seen so many, cloud services just getting buggy.
Mr. Hovey, Paul, he was actually the first to make us aware of this a couple of weeks ago. So Paul, if you're listening,
good.
Thanks,
on you,
brother.
Yep.
Interesting stuff. But still, no Ceph ones. He asked me if there were any Ceph ones. Not yet, my friend.
Yeah, that's right. But we've had, there's a lot of patching going on, and there's a lot of rediscovery of things that everyone said was fine, but no, the exploit can get it. But most things are behind a firewall. They are gone are the days, Mackie, where you would just, you had a thing called the Demilitarized Zone, and you put your server out there. That's crazy. It would be taken down in minutes if you did that today, right? Without a firewall.
Oh, dude. So, and you would be taken down right after. Also, you're still working here? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Street sweeping is now your vocation.
Yes, sleep over there.
So, because almost everything has now, IPS or packet inspection, they're looking for things. We got the next gen firewalls who collectively listen to the internet's heartbeat, and anything that gets found somewhere is blocked on all of them. And it's just a subscription for that on it. Each brand has their own specific way of doing it. I think that these threats are harder to propagate. You'd have to be a complete well, I've got to be careful what word I use. A numbskull, old school. You have to be a complete numbskull to
numpty.
A numpty. Yeah, there you go. You have to be a complete numpty to put your business at risk by not protecting it with IPS anyway.
Yeah,
or next
year.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
No,
you
no,
can't have Windows
and we're
firewall
not trying to. We're not trying to put down the numpties of the world. We need the numpties, right?
Because it makes everyone else look good.
I know, right?
So anyway, I had to talk about it. The other thing was the other good news, mate. This is good news.
Good news.
If you've tried to watch YouTube at all in the last, 2 weeks, you would have seen that the Webb satellite has gone up. The James Webb satellite has gone up. It took off, hopefully, perfectly, and it's going to continue to be perfect. And it's got the largest gold mirror array
Yes. Yeah.
that's ever been launched into space.
Quite the feat.
Yeah, and each one of those are focusable independently of each other, so it's going to take them at least 6 months to get it online, and then another 6 to calibrate it. It's going to be some time.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong in that time? Well, remember the Russian satellite, and then the Chinese satellite that were intentionally destroyed, and it's kind of like, remember that Sandra Bullock movie where she's in space and that debris storm comes past?
Hang on. Is Sandra Bullock movie in space?
Yeah.
Don't tell me I've slid again.
George Clooney. George Clooney.
What?
Yeah, George Clooney and Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, let me just.
Don't you damn well slip again. I'll come around and kill you myself.
I'll kill you now.
I'll slap you back into this timeline.
Is it a remake of something?
Nope.
Oh, Gravity. No, I do remember Gravity. Oh, good.
You couldn't remember who was in it.
That's correct. I remember.
For you,
Gravity.
that's actually something. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so did you see it? No.
Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
Yes. All right, good.
Yes, I did.
All right, so there was a, if you remember rightly, there was a debris storm that came through, which then just makes more debris, and it peppered the ship, and they lost oxygen, and anyway, well, that's currently happening. There's currently a debris field that's circling the planet that's so large and so fast that it gave the ISS a bit of a hard time. Space
junk.
Yeah, but this is like space junk out of a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's got to be good. So
that's the best.
Yeah, it is. Remember, we have whole islands full of nanoplastics, right? Which is great. One day,
it's a microhabitat. Yeah,
it is. That's right. You know how many fish can live if they don't eat the plastic beneath that?
All of
them. All of them.
All of them. Yes.
That's right. So, do you know this kind of banter that you're hearing right now is the kind of stuff that we talk about when we're at a party?
That's correct.
If we haven't seen each other for a little while, we speak. Well, the conversation goes just like this. So this is all completely off script, and I know you know that, but it's a lot of fun. And sorry if we jump around or if we don't pay too much attention to a particular topic or go deep enough. But yeah, I don't want to ruin your Christmases with it. You know.
Oh,
No.
look, I'm happy to ruin everybody's Christmas if that's what it takes.
Bah humbug.
Hey, the Christmas spirit. I see. Give me my shiny penny.
I watched the what's it called? Not the Grinch, the other one. A Christmas Carol.
Scrooged?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes.
No, Christmas Carol with the Muppets and Michael
Muppets
Caine
Christmas
is Scrooge in it.
He's quite good, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he apparently he refused to play it comically. He wanted to only play it as a serious role.
Oh, okay.
And they had several rewrites to make it so that he was the evil guy that the kids wanted to connect more to the Muppets than him. Otherwise, he was like secondary to the Muppets Carry On.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, yeah, extraordinary. I think we're halfway through it, and we're halfway through that, and Don't Look Up is the other one. We're halfway through it.
Oh, that's a new one, right?
Yeah, brand new to us anyway.
Yeah.
And we're halfway through. It's 2.5 hours long or something.
Yeah, these days you can make a
long
bit of
movie.
an investment in those movies. The Resurrections, the Matrix, that's 2.5 hours as well.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it yet. I want to go to the movies, but
But can we? Is that a thing we can do still? I don't know, buddy.
I wouldn't go. I'll just have to wait until it's out on the very small screen on my phone. I can watch it in the safety of my own bubble.
Or if there are people left, then you can go back to the cinema.
Oh yeah. I'll load up the canister myself and watch it in my own time. Like that.
There you go.
What was that End of the World thing movie with the guy that was
Postman?
He was using the neighbor's pool as a refuse.
Oh, I don't know that one.
And he drove across America finding all these artifacts and brought them back, and he wrote on all the freeway signs like where he lived. So if there was if it happened on anybody else, that they come and find him.
That sounds like the kind of movie I'd like to watch. What is it called?
I have to get back to you on that. I'll take that on notice.
No,
I forget.
not a problem.
It's very funny. He ends without. I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it's the carry on that this fellow does is so funny because he just thinks there's no one else. He just finds a house he wants to live in and lives in it.
Cool.
Because all the cars, everyone's gone. It was like a virus or something that took everyone out, and he was the only one that for some reason didn't get infected or killed.
Wow.
Very, very funny. But yeah, crazy, just a bit crazy, right? Crazy concepts in this movie. I think it's a TV show. I think it's a series.
Is it The Last Man on Earth? It's not The Last Man on Earth, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
I was going to ask you this, but since we sort of segued onto it, what would you do? Let's say this were a scenario that played out, and you were the last person on the planet, right? Legitimately, what would you do? What would anyone do in that scenario?
Yeah, that's a real good question.
I mean, it'd be lonely, I guess, for one, right?
Yeah, it would be really tough because if there's no, there would be no electricity, so you couldn't do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
And there's only so much food you can eat that's going to last any length of time. So you're going to have to
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Absolutely, completely. Yeah, but would you? I think they nailed it. With, we drove around trying to find other people, couldn't find anyone. Just decided, to rob, expensive car showrooms for cars that drive around, and things.
But is it robbing? Is it robbing
Is it?
if there's?
No. Yeah, I suppose. Good question. I don't think it would be
I
robbing.
mean,
There's no
is it,
one
if
to
there's,
rob from. If you're the only
well,
person
that's
left,
yeah.
it's not
It's
theft.
it's really. I mean, a lot of us fantasize about this. I guess, maybe not a lot of us. I sometimes did, when I was younger, to be the last person on the planet. What would that be like? And then you really start thinking about it seriously, and you realize, well, it wouldn't be a lot of fun, right? Because if you were the last person, truly the last person, that'd be curtains, done, game over. There's no
There is too much toil for a single person to live, to grow food and eat it. From a single person's point of view, there's too much toil. So it would be an extremely difficult situation. In the first year, there'd be enough food just, going through everyone's pantries in the supermarket, right? For the first year, the stuff you could eat.
Sure.
But you'd want to get really quickly into growing mushrooms in basements. You'd want to be growing, some vegetable crops here and there. Because what happens if you've not done it, and you happened upon another, like someone that you could continue the human race with? If you happened upon that person, but you'd wasted all of your time and effort just being a larrikin, then there wouldn't be anything left. Would you set it up so that you could? I don't know. I think there would be. I think the writers nailed it in how, in how the guy was, a buffoon, I suppose. But how would I do it? I don't know. I think I'd take it a bit more seriously.
Look, you get two ways to go, really, right? I mean, apart from offing yourself, but one is to go down the route of nothing matters, right? or I will go and see what I can salvage or work towards something that has some kind of future value. Either way, by the way, it's completely legitimate. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just what your personal preferences are, really. I think.
I'm a fighter, Mickey. I'll fight to stay alive, and so I'm never going to give up. I do have some friends of mine that when I posed an end of the world scenario, they just said, "Well, I just go to the bottle shop and drink, and then die with the rest of them."
Oh, yeah, I can't do that either.
Well, that was their opinion, and I respect it, because if you did a cross section of everybody, there'd be a group of people that would fall into that category.
Yes.
There'd be people who want to start, a gang, and go marauding to try and, be king of the hill. There'd be people doing that for sure too, and there'd be people, like if you had any. What are they called, Mickey? The no technology folk in the US?
Technology folk?
No technology.
Oh, Luddites?
No. There's another name for them that's a bit nicer. They do barn raisins and.
Oh, you're talking about the Amish?
Yes, thank you. So they wouldn't have any problem.
No, it'd be fine. Like, oh, no, okay, what do you mean? Just we have none of that anyway, so we're good.
Good luck with that. Do you want to join us?
Yeah, well,
sure.
But see, that goes right to the heart of the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we've spoken about this at length, and I guess today is a good day to talk about it because it is Christmas, becoming to the end of the year, etc. But we have been taught very successfully to no longer be self-sufficient. Nobody is taught life skills in school. Our educational system is completely set out to turn us into little cogs in the machine, rather than fully functioning, fully realized human beings that can do things. When you leave school, unless you took a special course or you went to a special kind of school, you cannot change your tire, you can't change the oil in your car, you can't paint your house, you can't do simple plumbing, you can't plant a crop, You probably can't find water in the desert. And all of those skills that you might smile at, these are actually life skills that you should have. But none of our, or even within society, no one teaches our children how to save, or budget, or or simple, I guess, home maintenance things. Not massive repairs, but just how do you look after your home? How do you look after yourself as a human being? What does it take to function, not just in the machine, but as a human being? What is the social contract that we all agreed upon when we started moving into cities, right? What is all this? What does it all mean? And I think a lot of the millennials, they're coming to realize that this is exactly what has happened. So that they're choosing their own paths and their own way of doing things, and they,
Yeah, they're quite disconnected from the society machinery, aren't they? Happy to not own anything, as long as they've got the internet. Right? They're pretty happy with themselves.
That's. But you hit it 100% correct. Happy as long as we have the internet. Now, the internet, of course, presupposes an enormous underlying infrastructure, which has to be maintained. It doesn't. Oh, what do you mean? This isn't just something that exists in the ether, no pun intended. And it's funny how these some of these people are opting out of society, which I appreciate it, and I have no issue with it, right? However, in order for you to be able to opt out and downsize and become like a small house person, right? Even a mobile house person, you're relying on the infrastructure that exists. That was built by the generation before us and by our generation, right? So you might hate us, but if we didn't build all of these things, then you wouldn't have anything to opt out of, and then still maintain that alternative lifestyle you so crave. Let's be realistic.
The alternate lifestyle, yeah. Sitting on the lounge in an air-conditioned house with Wi-Fi, getting the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. Climate change is bad. Okay.
Okay. That's
okay. But what are you doing about it? Well, I've cut down to 2 Big Macs a day.
I sent an email. There was a study on Facebook that said, "Do you agree in climate change?" I hit yes.
Yes. Also, I didn't like the climate change. There was a climate change post, and I didn't like it.
That's right.
I disliked it. How do you like that? Actually, you can't do that anymore on Facebook, right?
No.
You can only like it now.
On Facebook, I like everything to mark that I've seen it. I don't like it because I like the word like it should not be the word like. It should be.
It's a bookmark, right?
Yeah, I just basically say, I've seen it.
No. Yep,
and when other people copy it and comment and it comes back to the top, I go, well, I've already liked that. I'm not reading that. Who cares, right? Whatever. Where can I write my opinion? Where can I do that? Yeah. So look, it's a crazy world, and when I was talking to my friends about this, everyone in my age group now have teens, and we all are doing the teen thing. But when I was a teenager, I was being the teen in the situation. Yeah, albeit slightly different. Yeah. The situation, the variables were different. Yeah. However, I was still being the teen in that. So it doesn't matter what era it is. The teens are always looking for, to be different. That's why I think Walkabout is great. Trouble teen, send them off. We'll get someone else's come visit, and then they realize that it wasn't just the parents they were trying to go against. Everyone does that. Yeah. Everyone says that. Everyone's the same. This is the society we have, and good luck with that. Because who do you listen to more, your parents or someone else? Someone else is the answer.
Someone else. At a certain age, there's always someone else.
That's
100%. Right. Absolutely correct.
It is inbuilt in us to go against everything that our parents say, and then only later to discover that they were entirely correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it? It's nuts.
It is. It is, and you're right. But that's I guess that's how we're built. We can't help ourselves, right?
I wonder, Meki, how many more things that we're willing. So at 50, when you're just willing to give your opinion to everybody, right? I wonder what comes up at 150.
Or 10,000.
Yes.
Right. No, look, and these are fair questions, and you're probably wondering on the line there, what craziness are you talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is that, well, it's definitely possible that we could be a lot older than what we are now. So there's definitely a chance that we are cut off early.
If only we hadn't have messed it up initially with the Anunnaki.
There's that. Yeah.
See,
absolutely.
If we hadn't have messed it up, we would have lived forever, and voila, no more problems, or more problems. I don't know. You know that mo money, mo problems.
Yeah.
Right? Would be more longevity, like mo longevity, mo problems.
Yeah. No, look, that's But again, we don't know. But it'd be interesting to see what our mindset would be like at that age. I really would like, it'd be interesting to.
Just imagine the maturity.
I know, right? Me. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy like that. But
look, once again, this is we've got like a minute left. So this is in Australia Boxing Day, when it's Christmas in the US, and we wish everybody your happy holidays, happy Christmas, happy Festivus. I don't mind what it is you're celebrating, as long as you're celebrating safely. Do that.
Yes.
Do it that way. And this is David Meki's Shiny Side Out, coming to you from a very relaxed, off-script first hour. But buckle up for the second hour. That's all I can say.
Buckle thee up.
And turn off your personal reality inverters. And no flash photography. It's going to be a tinfoil hat zone. Meki, I just noticed that the bunch of 5s and 6s for the last 4 days down along the Californian coast has been nuts.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
There's the music, my friends. As Dave pointed out.
Rightly so too. Now, I'm going to cut this stream and we're going to initiate a brand new one if you're watching this on YouTube. So look for the next one. Take a short break. Use the time to donate.